What do you need to know to progress in your project management career? My name is Guilherme and I'm a project management specialist. I help professionals to become successful project managers. Before I start, make sure you like and share this content because that helps me to understand that's valuable content for you, but also helps more people to understand project management and also to grow their project management skills. Also, this is a warm-up for the Project Management Summit. The Project Management Summit, it's a free event I'm going to make. It will be 4 sessions talking about project management, career opportunities, different frameworks, finance for project management, and risk management, and much more stuff. Everything is free. You only need to go in the link here and subscribe. I suggest you also to join the WhatsApp group, and then you can get the information as fast as possible. But I also ask you to reply the survey because that also helps me to understand the moment that you are in your career, what you are looking for into project management, what are your challenges, and how it can support you. Because if you want to develop a project management career, my goal here is to support you. So what I'm going to talk about today is how to progress your career in project management. I'm going to divide this advice basically in 2 parts. Because first one, I'm going to talk about for people that want to start with project management, and then later on I'm going to give you some direction for people that are already working with project management and want to get a promotion, want to go a different position in different company, maybe change industries, maybe go for a more senior position, and so on. So stay with me, and of course, let me know your challenges there because I can help you more. So let's start with people that are starting to work with project management. Those are people that they are not working with project management. Maybe they are working with something else, or maybe they don't have any experience at all at working because they are just fresh outside from the university. And their first reaction, say, I want to work with project management. They say, I'm going to do a certification. And they just jump in those kind of stuff without previous thinking about it. Well, and maybe you are already working with something and you want to transfer to project management, but you also have the same kind of impulse. Let's go for a certification. Well, first thing that you need to know that a certification will not give you a job. And other thing that's quite relevant there, before just going for a certification, that needs to be part of a plan. Because I've seen people talking about certifications and even talking about equivalent certification, like I've heard someone telling me that I'm going to do the Project Scrum Master and I'm going to do the Certified Scrum Master. Just the difference between them is one from the Scrum organization and the other one from the Scrum Alliance. It's like, why you're going to do both? Both certifications cover the same thing. And of course, those certifications, they are not cheap. And if you just start jumping and doing certifications without thinking about it, first of all, does not help. So before thinking about a certification, make sure that it has a plan, because also depending on the industry that you're working on, that will not help you. Like if you want to go to work with IT, with software development, it makes sense that you go for a Project Scrum Master. But if you want to work with construction, it does not make sense to go for a professional Scrum Master. And so different industries and even different countries, because like sometimes if you are going to work in the UK, like IBM or Prince2, they are very well known there. Might make more sense than go for something from PMI, which might be the case depending, but make sure at least you put some thought of that. Don't jump on doing certifications. That will not help you. Something very important also to let you know, if you're looking for an entry-level position, you don't need to have any certifications at all. So instead of jumping in something, putting a lot of effort, a lot of money on that, starting thinking and making a plan about your career. Like, what industries are you interested in? Look for jobs for those industries. Look for the requirements. Start to apply for those jobs. That's what's important. That's what's going to make you progress and get you a job there. Because if it's an entry-level position, likely a certification will not give you a lot of leverage there, or it will not give you a lot of competitive advantage there. Because I've seen people talking about CMPA, yeah, that certify as associate project management, if I remember well the acronym from the PMP from PMI. That will not help you because not a lot of people even know CMPA. Honestly, for people working around that are not involved in the project management work, a lot of people don't even know what PMP stands for, Project Management Professional, and that's the most known certification around the world. So be aware of those things. And why I'm saying that, I do not want to sell anything to, I do not want to sell you certifications. My commitment with you is help you to develop a successful career in project management. And yes, certifications, they are part of that. Sometimes doing a certification can add you something there, but they are not your first step. Your first step starts create a career plan. I'm not saying that you need to have a career plan for the next 30 years, but at least have a plan for the next 5 years. And that can be 5 years can be a high level plan, but you need to have something that's concrete, what you want to achieve this year. And then you start looking for positions and applying, because that's what's going to make you a difference. And I'm going to tell you something even more about certifications for people that has previous experience, because depending on the type of experience you have, you can even go for a more experienced certificate, more value-added certification as a PMP. The thing is, at some point, this having a lot of certifications, if you do not have a lot of project management experience, instead of helping you, will start to create barriers to you to enter in the project management field. And I can tell you a real case that I've seen, that this person, he start to have, he took the PMP, then PSM, PSPO, PSM2, and then he looked for, I think, the Agile certification from PMP and a bunch of other certifications. And then he goes for an interview, and in the end he gets the feedback that, okay, you are overqualified for this position, because when they look to his CV, he has so many certifications into project management, and they say, yeah, this person is kind of overqualified for an entry-level position. Meaning that the company is looking for, say, if I give this person a job, he's staying in the job maybe for 6 months, 1 year, and then he's going to leave, which might be the case for everyone, by the way. But for a starting point, the company does not want to have this impression. And then you have a problem, because people start to tell you that you are overqualified for entry-level position, but you are underqualified for a more senior position. Why? Because you simply does not have experience. So if you go for a project management position that they request experience, then they say, okay, what kind of project have you managed so far? It's, none. That's it. Gone. Then having a PMP might get you an interview. Yes. But then when they look for your CV and say, but you don't have project management experience as a project manager, then you are underqualified for this position. So you get yourself stuck in a very difficult situation. And in this case, I give some advice, say, hey, be aware of that. And this person, of course, advice, you can take it or not, of course. He decided to take more certifications, but he continued to struggle to find a position. So keep in mind that certifications are good, they help you in your career, but more experience you have, then your certifications start to be more valid, because then you need to have experience in backing up trainings and certifications and so on. Because what I also see is people say, then they start to do trainings. I'm going to do all types of training there. Then I've seen a person even say, putting the CV, project management professional. Then I ask, okay, do you have the certification to put that in your CV? No, but I have the training. So you cannot say that you are a project management professional, because doing a training is something completely different of having a certification. So does not matter if you do the training for all types of the certification that you have out there. If you do not do the certification by itself, it does not have a lot of value for you. So having a lot of certifications will not help you, but trying to do all types of training does not have also any type of certification will not help. So if you are starting, and if you want to go, if you do not have any experience, start to apply for entry-level positions. No experience requirement, no certification requirement, and usually they do not require There are not a lot of hard requirements in a position like that. If you have experience and you want to move for project management, instead of putting your CV that you are, because I've seen people trying to say, I'm going to make sure that I'm seen as a good project manager. And yeah, but then you go for an interview and the first question that you get, okay, what type of projects that have you managed? And you don't have anything to say, then they are just going to throw away your CV. Make sure that you focus to value your experience, your transferable skills. Then it can be a bunch. You can maybe you led a team. Hopefully you work with a team. Then you also have experience as a teamwork member. Maybe you develop, I don't know, problem solving skills, analytical skills. You develop even software skills, Microsoft PowerPoint, Word, Excel, maybe MS Project. Make sure that you are valuing, you're highlighting your transferable skills instead of trying to highlight something that you are not. Because more important than highlighting something that you are not, because then you're going to get questions in the interview and that will not help you at all, is make sure that you highlight your experience. Like, okay, I was a salesperson, so I was dealing with customers, I was managing stakeholders, all those kinds of stuff. They are very important skills that you need to have as a project manager. Although you have not managed a project yourself, you have a lot of the skills that can help you to succeed as a project manager. So it makes more sense. And for God's sake, do not forget your experience. Do not throw everything that you've done professionally in the bin and say, now I'm going to start fresh into project management. Use this experience in your favor. Because I've seen people that say, I've worked with construction. I've worked, I don't know, as a site manager. Then suddenly they say, I'm going to work with project management and I want to go for IT. Well, it's much more difficult for you to get a job in project management in IT, because first you don't have anything of IT background and you do not have and you do not have any experience with IT. So you really need to start in an entry level position. And depending how you put yourself, even that might be difficult. Or you can just go for a construction position because you already have experience. Then you can build on your background. That's the point. Make sure that you are build on your experience, build on your background, because a lot of times for IT position they are looking for someone that at least has a IT background. Maybe that's someone that know how to do some coding, know something about specific software. So those things matter. That's why the advice is select few industries, start to look for positions, and start to understand the job requirements. Stop guessing what you're going to do there. Create a plan. That's quite important. That's quite relevant there. And then, if a certification makes sense, yes, you can do that. But also, don't hold yourself back because you do not have a certification. Start to apply for positions. Because I can tell you, in most of the case, 99% of the case, it's not the first position that you are going to apply and you are going to get a job. Because usually you need to learn how to build a CV, then usually you need to get practicing in interviewing. And of course, if you hire, for example, a mentor that can help you in this process, that's also something that I do myself. I have a mentorship program and I do this kind of stuff. Or you can enroll a training. I do have my own training, and one of the things I teach is that. But if you do not want to do anything that, you can try to learn, say, I'm going to learn everything by yourself. And you can, it just might take longer. So experience will always be more valuable than your knowledge, than your background, on your background and only a certification. Why I'm saying that? Because usually if you have experience, you're building on skills. You're building a skill to do something, which is different than just learning something. Like reading a book is completely different. If you read a book how to swim, it's completely, and you understand everything in the book, is completely different than jumping on a pool and going swimming. So be aware of that. So again, if you're in this point in your career that you want to start with project management, or you don't have any experience, or you have experience with something else, make sure you create a plan. Make sure you understand your transferable skills. Make sure that you look for positions and start applying that. But of course, in parallel, also start studying project management. That's good. Then do a training. But don't go from one training to another. Don't go from one certification to another without even applying for positions. Because in the end, if you do not apply, you don't get a job. Does not matter how many trainings you are going to do. And I see that quite a lot, and which is a pity. Because I do not know about you. But if you start to go for a lot of certifications, those certifications are not cheap. PMP costs $500. CAPM, I think it costs around $300. PSM costs $150. PSPO costs $200. Well, depending on how many of those certifications you are going to do, you're easily talking about $1,000 to $2,000 there. And I do not know about you, but that's quite a lot of money, at least for me. I can buy a very nice vacation for my family with $2,000 there. So make sure you think about that, be aware of that, and work in the plan. Stop thinking about which certification and say, where do I want to go? Have a clear goal there, because that's what's going to help you there. So now let's talk a bit about people that are already working with project management, because there you have a different situation. Because you are already in a project management environment and you already have some experience there. Maybe you are working with project management for 1 year, for 2 years. Maybe you even have a junior project manager position. So the way you need to proceed there, it's a bit different. The way you look for things needs to be a bit different. Because I see people saying, yeah, I have been working as a PMO assistant for 6 months, and I'm going for project manager positions, and it's not working. Well, again, you need to build on your career, right? If you have been working as a PMO, then if you're already working with project management, one of the easiest ways to make the transition, at least to step up in positions, is in the company that you already are. And of course, easy between brackets, because it's never easy. But usually, if you are working well and performing in a company well, the chances are, if there are openings, you can apply for that. And then they already know you. They already say, okay, this person has a lot of value here, and we want to keep this person growing inside of the organization. That's something to keep in mind. But how you are going to enable something like that? Because you need to make sure that you are delivering value for your organization. Think about that. You are paid to solve problems. You are paid to deliver value. And the value that you are delivering always must be higher than the amount of money the company is paying you. Why? Because then you are a profitable employee. And bigger you make this gap, higher the chance you are going to make for promotions. Because the company will say, I want to keep this person here. I want to make sure that I keep this person here. For example, so if you're working in a company and you want to grow for project manager positions, what you can do if you are working in a company that's a bit more structured, usually you have something that's called competence matrix, where they have a list of skills that they would like to have in a project manager. And you can look for this competence matrix and you can assess yourself, but you also can assess your manager. You can have this discussion. And I understand that not all managers will be open for this type of discussion if they're not try to find a way how you can assess yourself, but how can you get feedback from other people to understand where you are in the skill level. But always look for ways to add value. And very important to say, adding value does not necessarily mean that you're going to make a stage. Why I say that? Because I've seen a lot of professionals that are very young, they're very ambitious, and say, I want to be a senior project manager, even though they have 1 year of working experience total. And they want to have all types of opportunities to make a stage for the company, to be seen there. What's the problem with a lot of those people? They are more concerned the way they look like with what they're delivering. and they want to look very good, so they take all the opportunities to say, I'm good here. But every time that something happens and everything that they need to show off something about their work in the project, because they are so much concerned in looking good, they forget about the work. And people ask, what happened in your project that you have this issue? And I've seen people answering that, I don't know, ask this person. I did a plan, they did not execute it, then you need to ask the responsible person why they did not execute it. For God's sake, you are the project manager. You are hired to understand what's going on and to make sure that the plans are executed. If the matter was just doing a plan, anybody could do a plan in the beginning and say, now I go, now it will work. No, you need to follow through the plan. You need to understand the challenge. You need to adapt the plan. You need to understand the challenge for the people. Maybe they have conflicting prioritization. Maybe they did not understand the plan. That's your job as a project manager. You should never say something like that. Every time that you do something like that, the value that you are delivering for the organization, it goes down. But every time you want to push because you want to go higher into the organization. So it's very important that you understand how you can deliver value in the organization. So, of course, making sure that you deliver quality in your projects, it's important. Make sure that you deliver performance in your project, that's very important there. So, understanding the skills that you need, first of all, to go for a future position into that company. But it's important, but you can create a plan how you're going to develop those skills. And you can look around in ways how you can increase your value there for the organization. And increase value for the organization usually means that you're going to do more than you're asked for. So you can volunteer to do stuff, which is nice, but again, make sure that if you're volunteering for something, you're not focusing on the staging, seeing that I want to be seen. No, make sure that, okay, it's important to be seen, but it's important also that you show that you have something to add on. That's all those persons asking stupid questions because, now people notice me. Yeah, it's not nice to be noted to be stupid. That will not help you in your career, for God's sake. So understand the skills that you need to develop there. And when you are looking for skills, you also can look for job descriptions for any other company that you want. What type of skills they're asking for? Do you have those skills? Do you have those experience? Of course, in this case, making training helps you a lot because if you already work with project management, the right training and having a mentor can help you double the value of that you are delivering there. For why? Because then you really have the chance to apply it. Because again, if you just acquire the knowledge, if you just do the training, and you do not bring anything to your reality, here also will not help. You need to build skills. You need to build your mindset, and you need to deliver value for the organization. So it's quite important if you're already working with project management, then I do suggest you also to make a plan, make a 5-year plan, high level, but for this year, make a clear plan. What kind of training that you want to do? What certification would add value? Because in this case, if you're already working with project management, having a certification combined with your experience, that can be very valuable into your career. And something else to you to develop. We just talk about skills that you need to develop, competence matrix, but something that you can do that can be also very powerful and that will give a very nice impression to people. Ask for feedback. Have you ever asked for feedback from your manager? And I gave this suggestion for other people in the past and they told me, I'm going to wait, I have my yearly review. No, you should not ask for feedback like once every 6 months or once a year. You need to ask for feedback every opportunity that you have. Say, is there something here that I can do differently? Is there something that you like me to do that I'm not doing? And we had this problem here. What do you think I could have done differently there? Could I have handled the situation in a different way? because that show you that you are interested in learning, that show you that you are focusing developing yourself, and that's very powerful. Because when people look around in this organization, what they're going to say, hey, we have here a person that's always having this mindset that he always wants to improve, that he always wants to grow. Well, if he always wants to grow and they can see that you are growing your skills and that you are delivering more and more value, naturally you're going to have more opportunities inside of this company. And if you do not have, that's not a problem. You develop the knowledge, you develop the skills, you develop the mindset, you can find a job any other place around. So it's very important to you. But I see people that they want to progress and say like I'm the case, I'm a PMO assistant. But what kind of value they have for the organization? None. I've seen people that wanting promotions and basically they barely do their own job. And they get those assessments there, okay, yearly assessment, say that they barely perform the work that they were hired to do. They say, but I want to be promoted. Well, if you want to be promoted, you need to overperform. You need to be a high achiever. You need to be seen as a person that's always achieving more and more, that it's improving, growing skills, because that's what's going to open you doors. But nothing is going to happen if you're not going to willing to put the work. And putting the work, I'm saying that it's also worth it for all types of position, whatever experience that you have. Because I've seen people say, yeah, I tried to do that, did not work, tried for 1 month, that didn't work. Come on, 1 month, what kind of trial is that one? If you want to grow into organization, make sure that you are following steps, make sure that you are persisting, make sure that you are putting the work there. Like I've seen people buying trainings, and how I know that, because I already mentioned I have my own training. And they tell me, because then I do an onboarding call with people because I want to understand their background, how I can support. They say, yeah, I want to be a project manager. But then they've never even opened the training, for God's sake. How can I help you to develop as a project manager if you're not willing to put the work? Or how can anybody in the world help you if you're not willing to work? So this is very important that you are willing to put the effort there. And if you hire a trainer, a mentor, or anything else, take their advice. Because what I also see, and you give advice for people, and sometimes I'm a mentor, and so I'm paid for this type of advice, and they decide not to follow, and then they come back, oh, did not work. Oh, did you follow my advice? And they say no. So yeah, then you're trying everything by yourself. Did you do the training? No. So that's difficult to help. So keep in mind that. So having a plan, here's my ask for you. Create a plan for this year. Where do you want to go? What do you need to do there? Meaning training, can be a certification, a position. For how many positions you are going to apply this week? For how many positions you are going to look for the job requirements? This is going to make a difference because you create a plan and make sure that you execute the plan. Then you are going to get somewhere, then you are going to progress in your career. And if you do that every damn year, then I can tell you that in few years that you're going to be far. And mainly, of course, if you have trainees, mentors, and you follow their advice, you're going to grow much faster than if you try to do everything by yourself. So, very important advice for you here that are trying to progress your career as a project manager. Make sure again you like and share this video because that also helps me to understand that this video has value and this video can help you. Then I can create more content like that, more deeper content like that. And also you help more people to understand how to progress into their project management careers and help more people to learn project management. Maybe you know someone else that's trying to learn project management, just share this with them. Make sure that you also subscribe for the Project Management Summit. This is a free event. It will be 1 week, 4 sessions, where I'm going to talk about a lot of project management. I'm going to talk about opportunities. I'm going to talk about project management mindset. I'm going to give you some tools that you can already use today and start to improve into your career. So everything there is free. So don't miss it. Just go in the link there and subscribe. Make sure that you enter the WhatsApp group so you don't miss anything. Make sure that you answer the survey. This event, all the content from the Project Management Summit will be available only for 1 week. So if you don't watch it, then you're going to miss it. And I'm not sure when I'm going to do something similar again. So don't procrastinate there. Put the actions that you need today. This is your life, your career. Whatever you're trying to do, if you do not put the actions, if you do not put the effort, you are not going to progress there.